Hey guys, what's good? Triple J Boxing here. So, Devin Haney, the dream, he has finally lost, even though I thought he lost to Loma. Officially, he had never lost until last weekend. Ryan Garcia defeated him, dropped him many times, a handful of times, and he took away the dream, Haney's zero. Now, I find it funny how a lot of people are hating on Haney, like he's shit now. He's not actually not that good. It's funny how the boxing world will turn on you in one fight, isn't that? It's funny how it works. Like they say, you're only as good as your last fight, and now he's nothing, which is just crazy to me. And this is what's wrong with boxing, guys. Last week you were calling him possibly the best fighter in the 140-pound division, with the best IQ out of any fighter in the game today. Some people were saying that his IQ was just as good as Crawford's. I didn't believe that, but I think he's a good fighter and he's got good IQ. But some people were saying he was at the top, whether you thought he was the best IQ or not. Last week, everyone thought that, and now he's shit. Like, that don't make sense. And this is exactly what happened to Ryan with Tank. As soon as Tank beat Ryan, Ryan's a quitter. Ryan's shit. And now they're doing it to Haney. And this is the problem with boxing. And this is why no one, and Mayweather's to blame for it, because he held so much regard for the undefeated record, even though you could look at many of Mayweather's fights that could have went the other way. It just, he got lucky. Like, and people will never consider Mayweather the greatest fighter of all time. They won't. And if you talk to people deep down, even if you think, even with the really big Floyd fans who think he is the best ever, deep down they know he's not. All the best fighters ever have lost because they challenged everybody in their primes. But that's the problem with Mayweather. He started an era of, obviously everyone always cared about the zero, but Mayweather like totally changed it where the younger fighters, that's all they care about. And it's kind of a shame because the boxing fans, they don't respect you if you lose now. Whereas in the MMA and UFC, you can lose and you're fine as long as you put up a good fight and you're entertaining and you fight the best guys. Like, imagine if Mayweather, like, this isn't about Mayweather, this video, but imagine if one of those fights that was a close fight, either Castillo or Maidana or Pacquiao, or like, imagine one of those fights, even Oscar De La Hoya, Miguel Cotto, all these fights were competitive fights and could have went the other way. So imagine if one of those fights got called, and Mayweather took an L. Mayweather would be nothing today. No one would give a shit. And you know they wouldn't. Because a fighter like Mayweather and fighters that are so defensive, once they lose that whole marketability. Whereas a guy like Ryan Garcia, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, a guy like Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Hagler, Hearns, Muhammad Ali, they're entertaining. So people still want to see them fight, even if they lose. But a guy like Mayweather, if he lost, no one gives a shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm not going to fully put Haney in that category, even though his style is obviously more defensive. This video is going to be more about giving Haney credit, because Haney does challenge the best. And he does fight fighters in their prime. And he does take on, I know maybe Lomachenko wasn't in his prime, but no one else is fighting him really. Other than Tio, no one was challenging him. And that's why you have to give Haney credit. And he went to Australia twice to beat Kambosos, right? He, like I said, he challenged Loma. Like, why isn't Tank fighting Loma? Because he's a coward. That's why. So everyone's shitting on Haney, and you got to respect he fought Ryan, a guy who was in his prime, young, hungry, and He said he wanted to fight in the center of the ring, and he did. He tried. It was a bad game plan, but guy tried. At least Haney is attempting to be great, whereas these other guys, specifically Tank Davis, who the fuck is he fighting? His best guy on his resume is Ryan Garcia, 136-pound Ryan Garcia that couldn't even put on more than 10 pounds, and he was a zombie going into the ring. Like, that's his best win. And Ryan wasn't even he was marketable, but Ryan wasn't like, we didn't know how good Ryan was at that time. He was good, but we didn't know how great he could be. And that's the only reason why Tank would take that fight. And he still put on a weight clause on Ryan. Like, that's coward shit, man. I don't know what else to say. If you're a true fighter, and I have a true fighter spirit, I know a true competitor, you want to fight the guy when he's at his best. Why are you putting all these handicaps? That is coward. Like, that's just that's the true essence of competitiveness. You want to face the guy at his best. So I just don't understand why you would do that to somebody. And then Tank Davis, he says something like, it's dangerous. That's the problem with boxing. It's dangerous for a guy to come in heavy. Because it's a dangerous sport and it's life and death in there. And a guy shouldn't be allowed to put on that much weight. Okay, well, I could turn around and say it's dangerous to dehydrate a guy to the point where his brain has no water in it just so you can get the W and have a big advantage. How is that? So you don't give a fuck about the health of the fighters? Get the fuck out of here, Tank. Because why would you do that to Ryan then if you cared about the safety of the fighter? Like, come on. It's actually worse to be dehydrated, your brain dehydrated going into the match, than a guy having a 10-pound weight advantage over you. Like, come on. If you're that good, beat him. You should be able to beat him. Like, come on. If you make the weight, you make the weight. I don't get it. But anyway, I know I'm kind of going off there, but my thing is, Devin Haney, I respect him way more than I respect Tank. I respect Ryan way more. I respect Tio way more. Shakur, he's still, to be honest, Shakur's on the same level as Tank, to be honest. But the problem is with Tank's a lot older than Shakur. So Shakur still has a lot of time to prove himself. So I'm going to say Tank's dead last for what age he is and what he's accomplished. Every one of those guys, Shakur, Haney, Ryan, Tio, they're all ahead of Tank for their age. And especially look at Tio, challenged Loma when no one wanted to fight that guy. You got to respect Tio for that. Ryan, he fought Tank, the big bad Tank at the time. Ryan was so young, inexperienced, and Tank still, like I said, Tank fucked around and still put the rehydration clause on him because he was still scared for some reason. But like, and then Ryan goes into the Haney fight. Like, and Haney, we all know, went to Australia twice, fought Kambosos twice, fought Lomachenko, and then Ryan. Like, these guys, and they're way younger than Tank, so. And I know some people are going to say, oh, but now we know how good Ryan was. Like, Tank, for him to beat him, he beat an inexperienced green Ryan that was so dehydrated, it wasn't even funny. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to bring up the experience. I don't think, like, I do think Ryan should have waited to go into the Tank fight. I don't think he was fully ready experience-wise, but I think it's just the dehydration clause. Like, that's just coward shit right there. But so this video's for Devin Haney. I respect Devin Haney a lot more because the guy fights everybody. And like I said, my only problem I ever had with Haney is he was kind of a sore winner after he beat Lomachenko. Him and his dad in the locker room were saying, oh, we dominated Loma. That was easy work. When clearly it wasn't easy work. Like, it would have been better if they just said it was a close fight, but we won. But they were being kind of sore winners. But other than that, how can you not like Haney for what he's doing? He's fighting everybody. So I don't know why you would hate on Haney. Obviously his style, Haney's style is not my favorite style, but I'm saying everything else, like, about him, he's a disciplined And they seem like good people, him and Bill and him. So anyway, guys, and it's not his fault the judges had it for him over Loma, even though I thought Loma ran. It's not Haney's fault that the judges rob people, right? So you can't take it out on Haney. But like I said, like Haney, he's fighting everybody. He's taking risks. Why hasn't Tank fought Loma yet? Why hasn't Tank fought Shakur? Why hasn't Tank fought Tio? Why hasn't Tank fought Devin? Like, what the fuck are we talking about anymore? Tank, it will never be an all-time great because he ain't fighting nobody. He ain't fighting nobody. Anyway, guys, do I think Tank's more naturally talented than Haney? Yes, I do. But I think Haney's way more disciplined, and Haney is more of a true fighter that's taking on all these challenges. That's my opinion on it. And Tank will never be an all-time great because for him to do that, he's got to move up and challenge these guys. But know what? If he don't want to accept these terms, he ain't going to fight them. And they won't fight him either. And I'm glad Ryan won because now Ryan is the A-side over him, I'm pretty sure. And Ryan will have control over what weight he wants to come at. But I know Tank won't challenge Ryan again because he's coward. He won't. And I don't see him fighting Devin Haney either. I don't see him fighting Tio. The only guy I see him possibly fighting is Shakur. I hope that happens because Shakur's still at 135. And maybe he fights Tank. I mean, maybe Tank fights Loma when Loma's 40. But I don't see him fighting any of those guys at the higher weight class since these guys have moved up. Tank's too small and he don't believe in himself because if he did, he would have fought all these guys by now. He's 30 years old. This guy's not an all-time great. He's very talented, naturally talented. And it's a shame. It's a shame that Mayweather controls him like a puppet. And like I said, he has a decent resume. He's beating good guys, but he's not beating great guys. Like, it's not an all-time pound-for-pound guy. And he'll never be number one pound for pound the way he goes about his career. And the way I think Mayweather is still probably controlling the way he's moving. It's obvious, right? So anyway, guys, let's stop the shit with the undefeated. The guy's got to be undefeated or we don't give a fuck about him anymore. It don't make sense. Like, a guy puts a 0 on the line. A guy challenges. He tries to be great, and when he comes up short, you guys don't care about him. But then you got another guy who doesn't take risks, but he keeps on winning, and that guy's valued more. It makes no sense. So respect Haney. He did what he was going to do. He stood in the center of the ring with Ryan. Bad game plan. But it is what it is. He tried, and I give him way more respect than Gervonta Tank Davis. I just hope that, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying Tank is a bad fighter. I think he's really naturally talented. He is small, though. But, like I said, he'll never be as great as he could be because he's just not taking risks. Like, look at all his fight guys. Look at all his fights on his resume. Who are his best opponents he's beat? Mario Barrios, Isaac Cruz, and Ryan Garcia. Now, they've all gone on to be successful, so it's going to make Tank look good. But when Tank fought them, they weren't anybody. They weren't anybody. And when he fought Ryan, he put on a severe rehydration clause on him. So really, it's a total night and day. When Tio fought Loma, Loma was on top. When Ryan fought Tank, Tank was considered the best guy, and Ryan was taking a risk. The young lion, Devin, taking risks, going to Australia twice when the judges could have fucked him over there. When he challenged Ryan, a guy in his prime, no rehydration clause, a healthy Ryan. Lomachenko was still very good. Even though Tio beat him, it was a close fight. But these guys are taking risks. The other guys aren't. Yeah, guys, that's what I got for today's video. Let's stop this shit about shitting on fighters for taking risks when they come up short. Respect Devin Haney. He fought with heart against Ryan. Came up short. But let me know what you guys think about that situation. And thanks for watching Triple J Boxing.